Hi guys, this is the first time that I'm attempting this challenge. Can I beat Pokemon Yellow's Elite Four and Champion with a single level 1 Mewtwo? So the reason I chose Mewtwo is because it's got the best stats by far in Generation 1, and I don't even know if this challenge is possible, so I'm trying the best Pokemon first. All of Mewtwo's stats are really good. It has an amazing base speed of 130 and an amazing special of 154, which is both attack and defense in this generation. So I'm hoping once I somehow get past Lorelei's Dugong, I'll level up enough to start actually doing some damage to the rest of the Elite Four's Pokemon. Okay, here are the rules for my level 1 challenge. No items in battle, no rare candies. Your Pokemon starts at level 1 with 0 EVs and experience. Your Pokemon start off with their starting moves and can learn moves via level up or TM. You can evolve your Pokemon. Each TM can be taught once per run, unless it can be obtained multiple times in the game. For example, you can buy Substitute multiple times at the game corner. So in some runs I may override my Substitute and then reteach it again. And last rule, no glitches or exploits, except you can use glitches to obtain your starting Pokemon and change it to level 1. You can use an infinite number of items outside of battle. The TM rule still applies here. I mainly put this rule in just so I can have infinite PP ups, so I don't run out of attacks. And lastly, I can use save states, but only outside of battle. That's just to speed up the time it takes me to complete this challenge. It doesn't actually make the challenges any easier. Okay, here's a quick look at my Mewtwo's stats and moves. So right now I'm just testing to see if I can freeze Lorelei's Dugong solid, which is my initial plan of beating her. And this is a turn where I use Ice Beam and I miss twice in a row and get knocked out by Aurora Beam. This is another attempt where Ice Beam misses twice again and knocked out by Bubble Beam. This is footage of Bubble Beam hitting my Mewtwo substitute. Oh look, it's super effective, okay? So must have changed the fire type Pokemon into Mewtwo, and it didn't change my hack Mewtwo's typing, so what I'm going to do is actually catch Mewtwo in the game and change its level to 1 and its experience to 0. And for some reason, Ice Beam keeps on missing Dugong. I tested it many times. This must be a glitch that I'm doing such little damage that its damage is getting rounded down to 0 and it's counting it as a miss. So no damage means no freezing Dugong solid, so plan A didn't work. Time for plan B. Right, so it only actually took me about 5 minutes once I replaced Ice Beam with Toxic as a starting move, which means I can still use it later in the challenge. And so what I did was set up some double teams, hope Dugong rested, got a substitute up, kept on building up double teams, and once I did all that boring stuff, which is nearly now, I poisoned a Dugong and watched it slowly die. Unfortunately, Thunderbolt does no damage to Dugong, so my Ice Beam strategy would have never worked anyway. Unless I had another move like Leech Seed, which would have done passive damage. I'm lucky Dugong doesn't use Rest in this attempt, which would have made the battle take forever. Alright, that's Dugong. I'm level 11, so I've jumped from level 1 to 11. I use Toxic on Cloister. Use Substitute for some reason. Maybe in case it hit me. I could put up a Substitute before it could hit me again. So I'm just being careful with Substitute. See, it works here. I put Substitute up after getting hit. And there we go, that's Cloister. Next is Slowbro, who I outspeed on level 15. That's amazing. His Thunderbolt actually does a little bit of damage, which is nice to see. I'm faster, so I can put up substitute after I take damage instead of before. Can't knock it out with Thunderbolt. And there it goes. Alright. Next is Jinx, who puts me to sleep first attempt, which is very annoying. Lucky it keeps on missing me. The Thrash miss, it looked like it hit due to the animation, but it actually missed. Poison the Jinx. Dance behind some substitutes just in case Jinx hits me with an attack. And now Jinx is confused. Doesn't hit itself in confusion. Thunderbolt does nothing. Super Potion does nothing. Thunderbolt once again does nothing. Double Slap hits me. Doesn't even break the substitute, which is amazing. Second hit does though. And there's Jinx. Now, last Pokemon, Lapras. I put up a substitute first. Use Toxic on the Lapras. Hit it with Toxic. And now, I just Thunderbolt away. And I'm amazed it does any damage. I'm only on level 18. And I actually finish off Lapras with Thunderbolt. Nice to actually knock out a Pokemon by means other than Toxic. Alright, here's Bruno. So I use Double Team and get hit by Slam, and it doesn't knock me out. Considering the level difference between Mewtwo and Onyx, that's pretty amazing. Alright, so here's another attempt. The attempt that I actually beat Bruno, attempt number 2. I got pretty lucky being able to get up all those double teams without getting hit. Bruno uses X Defend, which allows me to get another double team up. Rock Slide hits, so I have to put another substitute up. The badge boost has allowed me to outspeed Onyx. That's another hit Onyx has landed. Another double team up, just one more, and I've got my maximum evasion up. I get hit by Dig, which means I have to make another substitute. Alright, time to... Whoa, one hit knockout with Ice Beam badge boosted, that's amazing. Useless X Defend. Ice Beam does hardly anything on Hitmonchan, so... X Defend, so I just try to knock it out with critical hit and Ice with a few Thunderbolts. Paralysis. Alright, that's Hitmonchan. Hitmonlee. Double team, not good. It's actually pretty scary. Lucky Hitmonlee didn't use lots of double teams, or I would have never hit it. There we go, that's Hitmonlee. Next is Onyx. Bruno's just terrible. He just keeps on using X Defends and things that don't matter. Another X Defend. It's amazing how little health I'm on and I haven't gotten hit. I just keep on dodging. Oh, and I freeze Machamp solid, which means that's pretty much game. That's amazing. That was my second attempt. I had 11 health left in the substitute, basically from the first Pokemon, and I managed to defeat another 4 Pokemon without even getting hit. That was super lucky, but I'm sure I could have beaten him pretty easily anyway, as Bruno's terrible. Terrible AI, terrible Pokemon. Alright, next is my fight against Agatha. So I got rid of Ice Beam, which means I can't use it for the rest of the challenge, and put Psychic in. Gengar starts with a substitute, giving me a free double team. He hits a Mega Drain, which only does a third of my health and damage. Get another couple of double teams up. Agatha switches, which gives me a free substitute. I double team, Leech Life hits me and crits me, so it breaks my substitute, which means I have to put another one up. And now It's time to see how many attacks I can dodge, because 2 hits and I'm dead. Let's go about taken care of with a couple of psychics. I think now I've got all my double teams up just now. Yep, I do. Gengar just keeps on putting up substitutes. Misses a Mega Drain, and I knock it out with Psychic. Alright, next is Haunter, who can really only put me to sleep with Hypnosis, which is only 60% accurate. And my evasion's made it so I only get hit a quarter of the time, which means really it's only going to hit me 1 in 8 times. Smart of Agatha to switch an Arbok to my Psychic so I can knock it out with it only having an attempt to attack me once. That's a Haunter. Now the last Pokemon, Gengar. A special drop is nice. It misses its Psychic, which would have probably done nothing. And I 3-shot Gengar with Psychic, thanks to the special drop. Right, that was Agatha. Took me less than 5 minutes to beat her in attempts. And next is Lance. So, now that I'm at level 28 as opposed to level 1, Lance shouldn't be too hard. Here's a shot of Gyarados doing big damage with the Hydro Pump, which shows that Gyarados is a bit dangerous. But in this attempt, I just get Leers and misses onto me, so I can easily build up my double teams and a substitute. And I can start off pretty strong against Lance in this attempt. So I've only gotten hit once so far. I've got a substitute up. I've got my double teams up. I get hit again by Hydro Pump. Alrighty. So now I start attacking Gyarados. Thunderbolt doesn't one-shot it, even though it's 4 times super effective against it. Alright, next is Dragonair. Psychic does about a quarter. It misses Thunder Wave, which is nice. Psychic does a lot more on the second attack. And it's a 3-shot. I must have gotten a low roll on my first hit. Oh, critical hits, nice. 3-shot the Dragonair, so I've been pretty lucky against the 2 Dragonairs. Next is Aerodactyl, who hits a wing attack, which makes me vulnerable to Swift since I don't have a substitute up. And Swift kills me. Okay, here's another attempt at Lance. This time, Gyarados hits me with the Dragon Rage, which isn't too bad because it's a fixed 40 damage. I've got 4 double teams up now, and I've gotten hit once. And I can put up 1 more substitute in this battle, so 3 more hits and I lose. Critical hit again with Thunderbolt, which doesn't make a difference, I think. Alright, next to the Dragonair. Critical hit, that made a difference. Since when you level up, the badge boost glitch gets cancelled out. And Dragonair's once again a 3-shot. Time for Dragonair number 2. Harper Beam missed is nice. Let's play a game. Let's see how long it takes to get hit. Alright, still going strong. Aerodactyl misses a Harper Beam. Hits with Swift, which can't miss. Alright, that took a bit of time for me to get hit. Please don't use Swift again. Harper Beam miss. Beautiful. Now for Dragonite, who has super accurate moves like Thunder and Blizzard. So I've got the substitute up. I feel pretty safe against Dragonite. I got a crit, which is nice. Another crit and a special drop. Another crit. And Dragonite didn't hit me and I knocked it out. That's Lance. That wasn't too hard. It took me less than 10 minutes to beat Lance. Time for the final challenge against the rival. Now you'd think this would be pretty easy since I'm 30 levels higher than what I started at. But it's not easy. It's the hardest fight of the run, which is weird, but that's just how it is. The rival's Sand Slash made the final fight a bit inconsistent. It hit really hard with Earthquake and Slash, and it didn't choose Poison Sting very often against Mewtwo due to it not being very effective, and that's how AR works. And its last move was Fury Swipes, and that could do decent damage as well if it hit 5 times. So really, 2 out of 3 times Sand Slash would choose devastating moves. The good thing was though, Mewtwo was speed tying with Sand Slash, so once I set up the initial double team, I would outspeed Sand Slash for the rest of the battle. Alright, I'm up to Alakazam now, and I've got my substitute and double team set up. The problem is I don't do very much damage to Alakazam with my Psychic or Thunderbolt, and it can recover. So it can stall me out pretty well, making the runs pretty hard. I needed to come up with a different strategy to beat the rival because this wasn't working. I mean, I may knock out the Alakazam, but what happens when I've got no PP left on my moves? There we go. Finally knock out the Alakazam, and I've got hardly any PP against Exeggutor, and it resists both Thunderbolt and Psychic, so I needed to devise a new strategy. I decided to drop Thunderbolt and replace it with Blizzard, which had a very high base power, and it also could freeze Pokemon Solid, as I did with the Sand Slash now, which allowed me to easily set up. It also hit Exeggutor for super effective damage, which meant that only the Alakazam was hard to kill now, because it had such high special that my attacks didn't do much damage to it. I mean, I go for a few Psychics in this run because I'm hoping for some special drops so I can knock it out easier. I finally got a special drop, put my substitute back up. Only one special drop so far. It uses Recover, making this run a lot harder. I guess one special drop makes Blizzard do decent damage. Rival uses full restore. Freeze it. And knock it out with Psychic. So, because Blizzard has only 8 PP and Thunderbolt had over 20 PP, losing PP in these battles became a much bigger problem. And having Psychic for Exeggutor and not Blizzard was terrible. It was hardly doing anything. Even with the special drops, it still took too long. Alright, ran out of PP for both my attacking moves. Here's another attempt. Two-shot Sand Slash. I've got nothing set up against Alakazam. I get a lucky freeze in my attempt. Now I get to set up everything. My 6 double teams, and I get to set up my substitute, which I've already done. Let's see how I go now, since I've had everything go my way. Alakazam can't use Recover. I'm trying to get a few special drops. Got a special drop there. Got a crit, which is probably bad. There we go, knocked it out. We've got plenty of PP. I've got 6 for Blizzard. In this run, I get Leech Seeded, which is very bad. It just hangs on, stomps me, doesn't break my substitute, and I knock it out. Alright, next is Magneton. I get a special drop. It hits me with Thunder Wave despite my evasion. We got a special drop again. Fully paralyzed, and it knocks me out. This is another attempt. where I get a special drop. I don't think Leech Seed is a problem this round. I actually get up to the Cloister, have a substitute up because I outspeed it. It breaks my substitute straight away because I'm lucky as. There we go, Cloister's a 3-shot because I got a special drop. And last is Flareon. Blizzard crits, Flareon knocks me out. So you can get to Flareon with that moveset, but it's not consistent. I had to change things up a bit. Because I didn't show you most of my attempts, but in most of my attempts, PP would be a huge problem. So I needed something more consistent. So what I did was I got rid of substitute because I was hoping to freeze the Sandslash or Alakazam early before taking damage and fully set up my double teams. And instead of substitute, I have Fire Blast because it's another move that does high damage like Blizzard, and it's another 8 attacks which I get to let off. Let's see how the rest of this attempt goes. I'm fully set up. I got a special drop. I knock out Alakazam without it recovering. I hit Executor with a Fire Blast and Burner, which is beautiful. Yeah, it looks like a 4-shot. I'm not missing either, which is nice. I didn't get hit by Leech Seed. I go for double team because I was hoping the burn would knock it out, which was stupid. And finish it off with Psychic. Alright, full health against Magneton. This is looking good. It misses the Thunder Wave, which is very good. Hits the Swift, which does hardly any damage. I get a crit. And Thunder Wave misses, allowing me to knock it out. Alright, next is Cloister. My PP is looking good for everything. It hits me with an Aura Beam. Does big damage. I got a special drop. It hits me with Ice Beam. The special drop saves me. Now for the last Pokemon. It misses Quick Attack. I freeze it with Blizzard. And that looks like that's a game. As long as he doesn't use a full restore, heal himself with the freeze and kill me. But I've got a special drop now, which allows me to knock him out before he gets into healing range. That was a crazy run. I got hit a few too many times by Cloister. I got a special drop on Cloister, which allowed me to survive the second hit on hardly any HP. And then I froze the Flareon before it could kill me. That was just insane. So that was my very first level 1 Elite 4 Pokemon Yellow challenge. It actually felt really good to do this run. I started off as a weak Mewtwo, only at level 1, using poison to beat the first fight. I slowly gained power, and I started knocking out Pokemon. In fact, I got rid of Toxic after beating Lorelei, and then I just overpowered the rest of the Elite 4 members. Which is amazing. Even though Mewtwo's an amazing Pokemon, I didn't think that would be possible. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my crazy challenge video. When I first came up with the challenge, I thought I was just plain crazy, but I guess I'm not crazy, as I better. So if you want to see me do this challenge with more Pokemon that aren't as amazing as Mewtwo, please leave some comments down below, subscribe if you like my content, and yeah, in the next challenges, I think I'm going to have to use Toxic against all the Elite 4 members other than Agatha, since Toxic doesn't work on poison types. Because there aren't going to be any Pokemon anywhere near as strong as Mewtwo. Anyway, thanks for watching.